been so many generations that have come through and just known her as this presence, even without being a political voice, just being this kind of stability and sort of more than just a figurehead. I think nation's grandmother is appropriate.
As the UK enters a third day of mourning Queen Elizabeth, some are having a difficult time really having the conversations about her legacy. Queen Elizabeth is getting plenty of praise for her decades of dedication to tradition, yet there are also critics asking if more could have been done to reform an institution some still view as a relic of imperialism.
I'm not the biggest fan of the Queen or just the monarchy in general, so I wasn't that upset or overwhelmed by it. It was just something that happens, I guess.
You're not the biggest fan of the monarchy. I wonder why.
Mainly to do with British colonial history, things like that. A lot of things that have gone on which have been quite shady, even recently with Prince Andrew and everything.
Now the future of the royal family is up to her son, King Charles III. Let's discuss. Boston University history professor Adrian Chernock and documentary filmmaker Alex Holder join us. Adrian, I want to share, according to the leader of one anti-monarchy group, this quote: Charles may inherit the throne, but he won't inherit the deference and respect afforded to the Queen. What is he walking into? Not just is he up for the job, but is the monarchy much more of a target now that the Queen has passed?
Well, let's face it, Charles comes to the throne with a lot of baggage. You were just alluding to this. He has his own personal scandals with Princess Diana and Camilla, his own history of political interference, some would say intervention, the charges of racism that were leveled at the royal family by Meghan Markle, as well as that broader history of imperialism. And then there's the fact that he's a man, and an older one at that. All of these are going to be hurdles.
Alex, we keep hearing that Charles could be bringing us into a modern monarchy. What does that even mean? What changes could he bring? Will he bring?
Well, I think, firstly, hi, Stephanie, lovely to be back with you.
Good to see you.
I think that King Charles III is inherently modern by virtue of the fact that he is taking the throne in 2022. But the things that are being spoken about right now is slimming down the monarchy and making it less working royals. But at the end of the day, the monarchy is more than just one person. I mean, whilst Queen Elizabeth II was a remarkable, stunning, immensely favourable and beautiful person, she was one person. The monarchy was something that's bigger than any one individual. And King Charles is going to inherit this throne, and he will do the best job he can. But it will continue. And I think one of the most incredible things about the monarchy, why I love it so much, is the fact that it continues. It never stops. It is that shared story of 1,000 years that we all come together and admire.
Ariane, you mentioned the scandals the king has been involved with in the past, obviously his personal life. How extraordinary is it when you think about the evolution of the monarchy, where we are today, that here we are, Camilla, the new queen consort?
I don't think Charles or Camilla would ever have imagined this for themselves back in the early 90s. It's a very unlikely fairy tale, but a fairy tale for them nonetheless. I think that's why today Charles put so much emphasis on offering reassurances to his audiences, a sense that they are there to provide the kind of stability that so many sought in his mother, and they're not going to be making radical changes.
Alex, young Brits seem split on whether to keep the monarchy in place. The way you speak about the monarchy, so lovingly, so nostalgic, that feeling isn't shared by many others, especially those even younger than you. So you don't see it as vulnerable in any way?
Well, I think it's been around for so long, and I think it would be somewhat, I guess, obnoxious for me to say that I think this would disappear because of one person. I mean, there's been lots of kings and queens over a very long period of time. I think there's perhaps a bit of a misconception with what the monarchy actually is. There's for sure the anachronistic aspect of it, right? The pomp, the ceremony, the silly clothes and the costumes, etc. But there's also, as I was saying before, the shared story, this idea that a 96-year-old lady can pass away, and there is this outpouring of grief. And it's because she was so prevalent in all our lives. She was somebody that we only ever knew. She was always there. People came and went, but she was always there. And now she's gone. And now there's a new person who's going to take over. And we will hopefully rally behind him and his family, and we will support him, and he will support us. But the point is the story. It's the shared idea of something that we all have together, that this family, what they represent, it's above politics, it's above our anxieties. It's something very special.
But it's not above public feuds, public disputes. Ariane, do you think the gesture that the king made today in giving Harry and Meghan's children their royal titles, do you think that is the first move in sort of mending this feud that they've had publicly?
I think he was suggesting today that this is going to be a big tent monarchy and a transitional one as well, and that just as Elizabeth ceded so much, especially in later years, to Charles, that Charles will be ceding quite a few responsibilities, certainly to William, and perhaps over time to Harry and Meghan as well, who remain incredibly popular, at least with certain audiences.
All right. Ariane, Alex, thank you both for joining us tonight. I appreciate it.